Luckily, I brought my smart Tobots.
Hello, it's KRBrickBot, and remember when I ragged on those new Tobot 23 minis for just being too similar to the original and too stickery? Well, I guess they kind of make up for that because we've seen some leakings for some bigger Tobots. I mean, they looked like they were pretty simple Tobots, but much more show accurate, but not quite the repeats of the first DX Tobots. So, turns out those are for the first time ever in the Tobot toy line, a third size class of Tobots. So we just don't have the main DX and the simple minis anymore. Now we have smart Tobots. Oh, this is just a shipping box. Happiness has arrived this week from Young Toys. I bought this directly from the official Young Toys mall. And of course I had to get all these, so these are the first new product of Tobot 2024, which is just somewhat of a rehash of the 3 classic Tobots. Yeah, so these are the 3 classic Tobots, but slightly smaller than the DX, but definitely bigger than the minis. The Smart Series. Why are they called Smart? Is it because it's like a smart pricing? Because you'd be smarter if you spent less money? According to the product descriptions, it's smart because it combines the best aspects from the bigger DXs and the minis. What are the best aspects? Ball sockets? They actually say deluxe. So yeah, that's not gonna be totally confusing. Like, you have mini, smart, and deluxe. There's the distinction between DX and Deluxe. If you start saying Deluxe soon, then it gets confusing with the Transformers Deluxes, which are small as minis. Yeah, for now, I'm not buying the DX Tobots again right now, so I'm just looking at the boxes as they are. Yeah, so this is much more orange than it was. And they are packed dynamically again in a slant, especially wide here. Yeah, with those double arm pose. And this packaging style, I guess it is the standard stock illustrations, but with a bit of a thicker outline filter on it, so I guess the panel lines just are more prominent here. The car mode Ionic 5, car mode Avante, or Elantra on the international version that's being released at the same time. Car mode Staria. Yeah, without any of the boys on there, so. This side of the box has all the cross cells, and this side of the box has those similar pose photos, again with those nice outline photos. Smart. Back of the box, yeah, this similar style to the bigger boxes, like pretty plain background, a bit of a gradient, big letters in the back. 2 modes. Lots of articulation and dynamic poses, like variety of poses. Well, we'll be seeing about that. Yeah, so there's a car mode and the Hyundai name and then the names there. Looking at the bottom of the box, of course this thing comes with a display stand. December of 23 prepared. Young Toys X Hyundai. So I bought these directly from Young Toys ASAP because they were running a special promo event where you could get a big sale on them and free stuff with purchase. Yeah, so basically they had coupons for 20% off of these, so of course they had a one listing for all 3 of them for about 50,000 Korean won, but I opted to buy all 3 separately, which is about 20 each, which does come out about one more than if I just bought the single bundle. Why did I do that? Because the individual ones would give you like a free item, while the bundled one would just give you a 20% off coupon for a future new mini Tobot Triton. I mean, I passed off on that one because the mini Triton will eventually get sailed. So the freebies were these. Tobot V Super Racing. These little slot cars. Yeah, we got a Leo Kaiser. And a Silver Cop Silverhawk. Oh, are we getting the trio of the season 2? No, that's a Captain Police. Yeah, I guess hoping for Captain Jack, but they should be pretty cheap because they're just practically giving this out whenever they have like new release or special promos because, you know, these things don't really sell, these slot cars that only transform. Oh, also a surprise free Kongsungi Jelly Bubble Cleanser. Is that a toiletry? Yeah, bath time. Guess it's going out to my cousin. Yeah, maybe it seems like sacrilegious to buy the classic Tobot just to get the previous super... not Tobot. Yeah, but if I'm gonna get these things, I might as well get them for free, or at least a little bit more for just like 10 more, 3 of them. Yeah, I'll see if I can get the other half, like there's only 6 of these plus 1 more in the full track set. Yeah, this is first production run stuff, and the only production run I assume, just late 2020. And some seals of no returns once you cut these open, so it is the nice same beige Hyundai Ioniq 5. Yeah, the paint is really good here, like the gray and the headlights, the license plate, the Hyundai logo on the back. You have the red tail lights, the gray light, the logo here. Only thing missing from the bigger one is no Tobot X right on the back. Yeah, that's opened up space for more letters. And yeah, those wheels, those custom wheels also. I've seen reports that some copies of the hood don't sit flush together, so it's sticking out. Yeah, I can't speak for that. Maybe there's some flashing plastic, excess plastic that got in there that stopped it from flushing like this, or maybe something got warped in that particular molding. I mean, hopefully most of them should be just fine. And I think the trim on here, the lower trim, is plastic. But you've seen the car, let's get right into the transformation, which should be the same as the DX, just with less clickety ratchets. Nice soft ratchet there, arm down, wrist out, and the hood down. This simplified one does not have a rotating hood, so you're kind of stuck like that. This is definitely a properly downsized Tobot and not a mini T-ification, although still much bigger than the mini one. Yeah, the details look pretty much the same. It's working mostly with plastic, so there's only a few paint apps like the orange toes I see and the black torso, the crotch, which is actually an inverse color of the orange axe crotch with over gunmetals. Yeah, so there's just a different light color here. Of course, no details on the arms or in the torso. And yeah, and this hood does not collapse, that's just one solid piece. And you can open this to see the corduroy details, but that's not detachable, that's just mechanical detailing. And you also take all red out of the picture with none of that joints, just working with ball sockets and other hinges. Yeah, including these little knee flaps, which were sliders on the big toy, but these are just hinges. That's definitely more affordable. Okay, the biggest thing is going to be the articulation. Nice side-to-side ball socket. A little down. Yeah, unlike the swivels of the bigger toys with a face in them. Yeah, I guess the outward shoulders. I think because of the ball sockets, no, that's just about the same articulation, just with the head nestled in there. But with the ball sockets, you can move it a little in to slightly compensate for lack of bicep swivels. Nice ratcheties, but I think these elbows do go further than 90, unlike the big toy. So that's an improvement there. And with the waist swivel, this one has a waist swivel that the DXX does not. Soft ratchety. Ball socket forward and back. Out. Little side to side and a thigh swivel. Another improvement. The toe down and the knee is only obtuse. Yeah, can't all be winners. He gets like 2 to 3 extra points of articulation, but then just kind of gets gimped on one of the knees. Yeah, that's because there is some extra, I guess, structural plastic added to that, where you can see the natural cut of that thigh as it was meant to be. So if you want to give him the leg articulation, you have to shave this down. Yeah, but thigh swivels and waist swivels are really nice improvements over the DXX. For the Smart Tobot Y, we have this Avante, or Elantra as it's officially called on the Tobot boxes on the global versions. Yeah, it looks mostly the same. Nice rich blue. The black grille and headlights. No half silver headlights or full silver headlights, so that's a little hard to make out. Hyundai logo there. Little bump there. No sunroof on this one. Nice red tail light here. No license plates or letters whatsoever. Now, straight onto transformation, it generally should be like the exact same as the big Y. Toe down, then hood down, double hinge that and rotate it around on that black connector without any drive belt on it. And the wheel wells collapse too. This Y's lean, spry, and kicking. Working with white, black, and blue plastics with some nice painted red. So his lack of red joints don't stand out as much. It's a pretty clean back, all things considered. Just this little weird spot. That would be a good spot for a display stand hole. And if you want to come to the head, I guess it's okay, but somehow he looks even sadder than on his DX head. Painted eyes look a little better, not much, and you can't flip down the chest to reveal the corduroy detail, or like this. Yeah, you can see his little feet with that circuitry greeble there with not removable. Still has the car seat detailing, but no painted white vents. As far as the articulation goes, he has a ball socketed head, which is up that much and down that much, and a lot of side to side wiggle. And nice side to sides, and then ball socketed shoulders, which go out that much. And the transformational faux bicep joints. And the soft ratchet elbows that go all 180 for transformation. And there is no wrist folding because I guess these arms were made slightly shorter so they don't need to save a joint budget. And a new waist swivel. Although that's more like right in the middle of the torso, but this is a new joint, not on the XY. Connected to that Y-shaped crotch with a bit of red paint spill there, oh dear. Ball socketed forward, and ball socketed back, and ball socketed splits, and a thigh swivel that's only held in by pins and glue apparently. Seamless. And a double jointed transformational knee. And toe down. Yep, so much to my surprise, it's just like the DX Tobot Y's articulation, but with a extra head and waist swivel. Now bringing in Tobot Z to Staria. Nice little red van with the smaller wheels and the bigger back wheels to make a cuter design according to the designers. The Hyundai logo there, no Tobot Z, no tail lights. Same hinge there as always, and maybe a bit of a bigger gap here for transformation. And roofing that doesn't go all the way to the front here. Otherwise, it's a nice perfect downscaling. Double hinges. Feet down. Hood back. Some more prominent flaps than on the DX toy. Yeah, I guess there are no extra need for heel flaps on this one. And then split, head up, bicep around, and then these panels go on the lower arms and they just fold up on the back of the arms here. And these just slide down. So he is still that big old muscular beef short stack. Yeah, pretty much spot on, I guess, but he has the most significant engineering changes in his arms. These panels here, they're just relocated on the forearms like extra bits of kibble rather than like the two halves of these sliding and folding together to compact that. So I guess they wanted to relocate that here on the lower arms where it would be less obnoxious than if they were just simply folding over here, because I guess that sliding system was a bit too intricate for this smaller toy. Maybe a more noticeable lack of details in the pelvic area, and especially the arms that don't even look like they were molded to be cross-bandage style. Yeah, but otherwise, the head paint and the torso is really carrying it. Nitpickingly, Z is suffering from the budget hollowness and unhinged jump jets. For articulation, he has the ball-socketed head, which can go side to side and then all the way up. Not much downward. Ball-socketed shoulders. Hinged outward. They do not sit all the way right perpendicular, so but that's not too much of a biggie. Soft ratcheted elbows and a bit of a harder ratchet bicep swivels. The waist swivel on a soft ratchet. Ball socket forward that much, ball socket backward that much. The splits that much, thigh swivels, obtuse knee bend. I think the DXZ had the 90-degree knee bend, that's what I heard. And then toe down. Yeah, so Z just basically the same, mostly just no special improvements and just some obstruction in the knees. The storage boxes are pretty neat, nice glossiness, yellow striping, metallic Tobot, copyright Young Toys and RetroBot. Grade on the bottom and a lot of mechanical detailing on top with some sort of energy like seam line as it was supposed to open. Which this does open, and this is just by pure coincidence. These smart Tobots are short enough to fit in the boxes, so these display stands also double as storage boxes. Yeah, that's great in case if you just want to throw out that big bulky box and then have some sort of original storage. I do say coincidence because unfortunately Z's just way too tall to fit in there. Sad. Yeah, he just gonna go loose in the box. Now the most important question of all. What scale are these smart Tobots? Well, I measured the width. They all come to about 60 millimeters, which compares to about 131 scale. Ooh, 131. That was like that teetering so close to being perfectly generation size, because at first glance they do look like they're like the same width. But the problem is they're just a little too tall. And also keep in mind, these are squish cars, so if they were proper length, they would actually be longer than normal 32 scale cars. Yeah, this is more, I don't know, this is more like 32-ish. Yeah, this is substantially bigger, just a few centimeters bigger. This is 132. This is 130. And this is also roughly 132 with another 130-ish Z. So that's the scale. Or maybe they slightly scale with the older Transformers back when they were bigger cars. And then in robot mode, they're quite taller than a Deluxe. Yet close to Voyager, but they're not exactly tall as Voyager either. They're really right in between. Unless you consider old Deluxes, which then, that's a bit more comparable, that's a bit more accurate. Yeah, but what I really find interesting is, you know, this is a 1/31st scale, so they don't exactly fit in the good Transformers scale, but they do actually compare to their very first original 2010 really rare vintage micro Tobots. Yeah, bring out old boys again. Spiritual successor to the one-off micro Tobots in 2010. And these are smartly made with today's engineering and nice, shiny, hardy plastic. So yeah, they are much more durable and easily posable than these old, weak, kind of floppy things. They're so delicate, fragile little things. And they scale in car mode too. Yeah, I bought some extra micros in 2020 from Dongdaemun Market for only 3,000 Korean won, like $3 the whole set. But Ajuma, I would not have mind paying an extra 17 to get the full box set instead of you deciding to throw away the box, because I'm missing out on half the stickers and the accessory. Oh, but it's interesting to note, there is a running change for, I guess, for later where they replace it with their own logo instead of the Kia logo. Interesting to note. Maybe, I think the paint's a bit more matte on this one too. Yeah, compared to the old one here, that's a bit of a matte change, so that's a little side story to make you envious that I bought this again 3 times over. So I have just differing qualities of the micro Tobots. And here they are compared to their mini Triton cars. Yeah, nice size there. These cars are very close, but a little too big for standard Transformers scale. Which is fine by me, I guess, because I have a hard rule for Gen 1 Tobot fiction. Tobots cannot meet alien Transformers. It is impossible, because the world clearly establishes all Tobots are man-made machines with realistic but somewhat in the future hardware. It's all man versus man machines, so it just would not make sense. It just would be impossible for alien fantasy Transformer robots to exist in the same universe as Tobots. Reality would collapse if that ever happened. Unless the aliens are also humans who developed sci-fi bioengineering technology, or if some Tobots are identical to the real Tobots, but they are alien robots. Tobot V meeting Transformers is totally fair game though. I suppose they could work with the new Tobot Triton. Those cars are slightly bigger. I think as you mentioned the scale before, so you could pretend their robot modes to scale with the bigger Triton. And I suppose they'll also scale with the new Tobot Rescue Team trio. I really hope my customer reviews will win me a free Tobot dock shining yellow. Yeah, I think Young Toys knocked it out of the park with this one. So for the new year of 2024, they just released the classic Tobots again, but in smaller size. And in good quality. Some other customers' qualities might have varied. But I still think this is pretty good high quality plastic, we know. And in these two cases, their articulation is actually improved. So yeah, that's a big advantage over the bigger DX ones, at the cost of no Koroid headmasters. Hey, but since they're all integrated, there'll be less of them losing their heads. Of course, there's concerns for ball sockets, but right now, fresh out of the box, they are pretty solid. And yeah, a good amount of hard friction to them. So they do hold poses. No floppiness. Yeah, but of course, time will tell if that will degrade and whether these will hold in several years, especially if that process is accelerated with kids constantly moving these or popping them off. So we'll see if these end up in used markets and whether they are still good and posable or just total rag dolls or somewhere in between. I feel bad for the Tobot Mini now because these smart Tobots kind of make them even more pointless. Yeah, unless I'm like playthings for literal 3-year-olds, but I would still give them these smart Tobots over the mini Tobots because those have detachable parts and peeling stickers. I mean, they really do feel like just Legends class or Scout class upsized because they literally are at that price point. They have the slightly more accurate Transformers scale and the limited edition special colors going for them, and that's about it. You know, it really felt like a surplus cultural thing when I discovered that most Chinese toy lines have like smaller Voyager size simplified versions of their favorite bots in addition to the main DX bots. They call them elite class. Dino Powers calls them basic class, and then Tobots calling them smart or medium. And then Transformers is just basically Voyager. The universal metric should be like 15 to 19 centimeters or 7 inches. Yeah, but I guess it's a new era for Korean toys at least, if they actually can produce like these smaller, more affordable versions, but not the super small ones either. Yeah, so I guess for any new Tobots, any single DX Tobots, I guess we could expect a smart version of them to come down the line eventually. So for availability, you can buy these right out of Korea. if you want them ASAP, kinda negating the purpose of cheaper prices. Or, the international version of Tobot Dado's Hero is coming out really soon, and the toys are already being reported for release in like Southeast Asia and Philippines. So in the US of A, they might come to Amazon.com eventually in the fall, because that's when they predicted those Galaxy Tobot seasons were arriving. So you could wait for then and then just get them maybe for about $29.99 each without any extra shipping. I haven't given Z much attention, but now I'm closing out with a special spotlight from the man behind his English voice.
Hello there. My name is Lee Tockar, and some of you who know my career know that I am a voice actor, and yes, and done many shows. I was asked by KRBrickBot, who has a fantastic website. One of the first shows that I've worked on with Scott McNeil, Sam Vincent, and Matt Hill at the same time. It was called Tobots, and I played Tobot Z. At least that's what I heard. And I also played Tobot the Less Decepticon in Beast Wars. Two fantastic shows with a great legacy. So KRBrickBot asked me to answer a question regarding Tobot Z. So he asked me how I came up with the voice, and I can only respond by saying it's a little bit of... Like, I wanted a superhero voice, but I didn't want to have him just sort of like superhero kind of cheese. I wanted to give him something with a little chop in the voice, and sort of mechanical. Go figure. And and so one of the influences was Tony the Tiger. They're great, sort of thing. And the other one was a very old commercial from Rug Doctor, and it was Rug Doctor steaming mad at dirt. That's basically his voice. So I just tweaked them, squished them, melded them, and it's a very old commercial. Don't go looking for it. Well, you can, but it's very old because I am, I guess I'm very old apparently. But anyway, the other question that KRBrickBot asks me is, will I be reprising my role as Tobot Z in the Dado Heroes? I have not heard of it yet. Maybe my agent will tell me about it, but so far I have not heard anything here, at least here in Vancouver, where the original was recorded. Fingers and toes. Thank you so much for watching the show and being a fan. This is Tobot the Less Decepticon. Thank you for watching and being a fan of the show. And so have a great one. And this is Lee Tockar and Tobot Z and Tobot signing off for now.
Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain.